turn one, and I remember when I wasn't racing, my brother was racing. He'd stand alongside the truck, or I'd stand by him until we had to get out of there, and we could actually see the truck moving because my brother's foot was moving so fast. Here we go, 32 buggies, 1600 light buggy to be exact, coming into Forest County, Potawatomi turn one.
Already contact. Delory's going to go around there.
Looks like Patton on as well.
Yeah, Tingley got involved as well. Let's see who's got the whole shot. How about at 122? It's Marquardt, Tyson Marquardt. Currently second in points, and he's got Greg Stingle hot on his heels as they head for turn two.
Yeah, Stingle, I told you, watch for that blazing orange car. He comes out of the gate second. But man, Marquardt just very, very fast. Look at already Stingle. He's like, I'm not even going to waste time going through that mud. I'm just going to run the tall side of this track and wait for it to come in.
Yeah, he's kind of opening the door right now for Connor Schultz in the number 129.
Smart move.
Connor finished second yesterday to his twin brother, Colin. First time up and over the Polaris jump. It's Marquardt, Stingle, Schultz, your top three as they cross the start-finish line.
Look at the water that's been laid down here on the track, trying to keep that moisture in like we keep talking about throughout this afternoon. Marquardt just trying to lay down some fast laps, and we're going to take another look at that start here, Shane.
Trying to see how that all started. Looks like Crandon maybe got into, I want to say that's Fisher there.
Yeah, we'll see a closer look here. Watch this. Oh, Stingle kind of like picks everyone off.
Yeah, just a chain reaction. Fisher got into Patton. Looked like Patton got flung sideways into Delory. Both of those guys went around, and then a bunch of people that were starting in the second and third rows back, they had to dodge and dive out of the way. Yeah,
I mean, Stingle, he tried to cross over, and he kind of collected a couple cars, so we'll see what Stingle has now coming on this long, long straightaway. Here's Marquardt coming into turn one, still with our race speed, but don't hold anything back from Stingle. Stingle's just reeling them in. Watch here, this is so cool. We'll see if Stingle takes that wide lane. Now with 30 buggies that go through that, they brushed off all that soupy stuff already, so we'll have to watch.
Yeah, this track will dry out really quickly, but we'll see. Now this time Stingle stayed all the way to the left, so on the other side of the wet spot, looking for that dry track down to the inside.
Yeah, and we talk about these drivers having spotters, and that's what they're there for. I mean, they're not driving the car, but they're like, hey, Stingle tried that horribly different line, or he found that great line, you know, like they're trying to find the fastest way around here. And those spotters come in effect big time, because they can let them know, you know, hey, that's where you're losing your ground. As you look at Stingle now, he's running that fast line right on the bottom. There's just no water. It's not technically the quickest, but right now it is.
Yeah, and at least by running the drier lines, you know, maybe he can force Marquardt to make a mistake where he's running out the wet stuff. As they head down into the Argonne corner.
There's Marquardt at 122, bringing it back towards where the starting line is here. In Crandon, Wisconsin, there's our leaderboard. Marquardt, Stingle, Schultz, Booth, Fisher, Springstro, your top six. And it's Heschke, Hockers, and Roloff. Boy, Lemke not having a good day running in 10th, but hey, I might say hey, it's not a good day in 10th, but when you have 30 cars, you're pretty solid because these cars are really equal.
Absolutely, you're talking, you know, right around 50, 52 horsepower in one of these cars. Very limited suspension, no power steering, no cutting brake. It's a very visceral driving experience. It's you and a machine. There's no electronics on these.
No electronics as well. I mean, you really got to drive these cars, and that's why some of the greats have came out of these buggy classes, because you really got to carry your speed, your momentum. You have to be on target every time, week in and week out. And Stingle, I mean, he's probably got a bigger trophy room than anyone.
Yeah, there was a long time where Stingle was the singular dominant guy here at light buggy, but a bunch of these young kids, like the 122 of Tyson Marquardt, they've showed up over the last couple of years and elevated this class to a whole new level. You've got, you know, the Schultz boys, Taylor Roloff, Patton, another very fast young guy. Springstrode was your defending world champion. So Stingle is now the crafty veteran, so to speak.
Yeah, he really is, and he's a good man. He loves this class to death. He's part of the Moore board as well here in the Sportsman Series, and it's a great group of guys working together to make this series strong. And I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, a lot of your fans come here to watch your buggy classes. Anytime you throw 30 cars out on the track, you're going to bring a big fan base. I don't care if it's 5 guys per team. You do the math. I mean, these sportsmen are the heart of this off-road racing series.
Yeah, and I also, I've said it a couple times this year at our other tracks, just small Midwestern towns are really truly the beating heart of short course racing. Is taking a look who's up into 4th place, Brent. It's Billy Booth. Entered round 8 today, leading in points. We'll see him later in 1600 buggy as well.
Here comes Billy Booth into turn number 1. Like you say, he's doing double duty, a lot of track time. He knows how this track's going to form up or go away. It can be tough layout here at Crandon. It's a big speedway, but you have to be in sync.
All right, Brent, Haley has talked about how it's a flowy track, and you talk about putting corners together. As a driver, what does that mean?
No, you got to put your corners together, meaning when you go out there, you got to find a flow. You can go and make 3, 4 good corners, and if you screw up on 2, well, you might as well throw that lap out of the bag because you're not going to have a good time. When they say you have to flow this track, carry your speed. You go in the gravel pit. If you've got to run a little higher up to get a good exit, fine. But you have to make sure, when the track starts coming together, you find that flow and the liking of your truck. Everybody's truck's different. You can go in a Bryce Menzies truck or a Kyle Duke or a CJ Greaves and get in and be like, yeah, they won, I can win. No, it can be totally different.
Yeah, trouble for the 177. That's Colin Schultz, yesterday's winner in light buggy. His tire is just about all the way shredded right off that left rear wheel of that 177 Flying Dutchman car.
Billy Booth once again. He's running in that 4 spot. Now 10 seconds behind Morcourt, our race leader in the 122. That lead will start to go away here as we come almost to our midpoint of the race. Halfway through, we like to throw that red and yellow flag. Re-rank, re-stack everyone. So if you're in the lead, you don't like it. If you're running 19th, 20th, and you made your way all the way up in the top 10, you love it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Billy Booth might be have the most benefit to this competition caution. He kind of had to dodge all that mayhem on the start as well, so not really connected to the front group of guys here, being Marquardt, Stingle, and Schultz. Once again, Marquardt down into Calamity Corner, and there we will see the red and yellow flag. So we have reached our mid-race competition yellow here in the All-Star Performance Light Buggy race.
1,600 light buggies. There's our top 20 right there. All the way down to Holcher. Morcourt on screen right now with your lead. Like I said, it goes away. We'll see if Stingle has anything up his sleeve for our race leader. Then it's don't count out Schultz. Schultz, man, very, very quick. That kid knows how to drive.
Yeah, like we were saying, too, look at 4th place, Billy Booth in that 151 car. He was leading points entering today's race, also leading in 1600. So he's getting a ton of seat time and obviously having a great 2020 campaign here at the Champ Off-Road Series.
All right, we're going to go down trackside once again. Haley, what's going on down there?
I heard you talking about the Schultz brothers. Yesterday was their day. Twin bros going 1 and 2 in this one. It was a tough break for Colin Schultz there. Issues with that left rear, but like you said, Connor Schultz, he's up there. Last time I checked, P3 on the course currently. Connor Schultz, he entered the weekend 3rd in this points championship. Yesterday, he gained some ground with his podium finish, but still a little bit of work to do to gain some more ground on Billy Booth and Tyson Marquardt. Now, the Schultz brothers, they race hard. They wasted no time bringing the heat this season. We saw that in the opening rounds, but man, it has made for some incredible battles throughout this season in the preceding 7 rounds leading up to this one. That's the Schultz brothers.
Yeah, those boys, they know how to drive. They're in some good equipment as well.
Yeah, all racing
Flying
in
Dutchman chassis.
Yeah, Mike Vanden Heuvel built those cars. And of course, Mikey, no stranger to the top of the podium in both light buggy and then Limited 2 and even won a Pro 2 championship. How cool is that, though? I mean, we heard Faye Stetsny's podium interview, and he made sure to thank Jeff Kincaid for helping him out with his race car. And now, you got a bunch of light buggies out there that are built by Mike Vanden Heuvel, who's a Pro 2 points champion.
Yeah, it's crazy. The list just goes on. And back in the day when I raced, everybody's so helpful. They want to give a giving hand. They want to see these cars out here. To grow the sport, you got to help each other out, you know? I mean, if you're in the same class, you might not give gear ratios and give your secret technology, what you got going underneath the dash. But if you need a tire, you need a hub, you need some lug nuts, hey, these guys, they'll open up their arms and they'll help out.
Yeah, as we take a look at our field all stacked up behind Marquardt, this is a Delaware restart. Remember, we did this yesterday and a few weeks ago in rounds 5 and 6. Delaware restart, basically when you reset the field, the leader is on the front row all by himself, and then it's 2 by 2 from there on back.
Here we go, Shane. The restart of 1600 light buggy. Can Marquardt hold on to this top spot? But he has Stingle, Schultz, Booth, and Fisher. Here we go.
Good, clean start for all the front runners. Actually, looks like the whole field back underway cleanly. Marquardt and Schultz got the better jump than Stingle, so there he is, Connor Schultz in that 129 Flying Dutchman ride. Here comes Booth to the inside of Stingle.
You see that? Billy Booth goes to the inside and had to go the long way around. He was trying to set up that pass through the barn turn, but made it stick down by the gravel pit. So Billy Booth on his way up to the front. He might have something for Marquardt.
Just about nose to tail as they come down into the finish line turn. Stingle is not out of the picture yet.
No, he just got roughed up a little bit, got passed. He got caught sleeping on that restart, so he'll definitely put his head down and try to reel back in Booth. There's Stingle trying to do the little crossover, getting to that inside. We talked about flow on this track. You watch some of the best in the business in this class. Watch Stingle. Stingle's going to work his way up, but here comes Booth, the 151, the red plate needed. He was a points champion last year.
Yeah, Booth is a man on a mission right now. Worked his way around Greg Stingle right after that restart. Now going to work on Connor Schultz. They head into that left-hand hairpin. Booth is as smooth as anyone else in this whole class. We're talking about Stingle. He is still right there with Booth, though.
Here comes Booth back into Forest County, Potawatomi, turn number 1. Stingle trying to run about a half a line off, not trying to eat that roost. Track really starting to dry out nicely as we rack off some more laps here. The World Championship Day, the ring race they call it, here in Crandon. Such a cool shot of Marquardt coming off that roller.
Yeah, Marquardt comfortably out front now, about maybe 8 or 9 car lengths over Schultz. They head down into the Polaris gravel pit once again. A little bit of a bobble there by Schultz. That might let Booth get a run as they go up the Polaris jump.
Here we go, Booth trying to look on the inside again.
Yeah, Schultz had a little bit of a push that time, so we talk about putting together perfect lines through consecutive corners, and Schultz right now having some problems doing that. We watch those two go down into the Argonne corner. I'll tell you what, Stingle is not going anywhere right now as Billy Booth still has his hands full with Stingle behind him.
See Booth coming in behind, trying to make that run, try to go outside, inside here. Like I said, there's a nice cushion developing. We'll see these cars get up to speed a little bit more as this race goes on. There's Marquardt, Schultz, and Booth. Here comes Stingle. Stingle's going to try another lane. About 5 car lengths behind Billy.
Connor Schultz still with a tight grip there on second place, but We saw Booth really close the gap in the back section by the Steelett starting line. Let's see if Booth can put a couple runs together here on the front section of the course.
Billy Booth coming back into the gravel pit. There's Schultz. Schultz running through that bottom side of the turn again. Going through the Polaris jump. Boy, Marquardt, he's opened up that gap pretty good here in this second half. We should be coming to the white flag. There it is, Shane. One more lap to go.
Tyson Marquardt from Lena on his way to a world championship here in light buggy. He can keep it together for one more lap. And look who else is up into the top 5, Brandon Springstro.
Oh, yeah, Springstro now.
Your defending world champion. Tell you what, he came into the season with a lot of optimism and then just had some absolutely lousy luck for the first 3 weekends of the season. I knew he'd be a man on a mission here at the World Championships.
Yeah, you just watch as we look at this pass trying to be made by Billy Booth. You're right.
Going to have to force the issue here in this hairpin.
To touch on your point on Springstro, though, he was fast last year. That just shows you how good the competition is. You never know year to year who's going to win that ring, and Booth, man, running out of steam here in the end.
Yeah, Booth might have just made a mistake that put second place out of reach for him as they come down through turn 1. There's your race leader, it's Marquardt.
Tyson Marquardt coming over the bar jump one final time. Hitting pretty hard on the front end of that car.
Grabbed the hole shot right from the jump here in round number 8. On his way to a flag-to-flag World Championship win.
The Broken Dirty 122 race team is about to take the checkered flag here this afternoon for the ring race here at the World Championships. 51 years we've been coming to Crandon. He's going to do it here this afternoon. Tyson Marquardt with the win.
Connor Schultz at 129 is going to hold on for second. Booth holds on for third, but had Stingle right on his back bumper, and Springstro, after starting outside of the inversion, so he started in row number 2, he will finish in the top 5.